today we are going to study a very important and interesting topic, that is time. Yes, time, as it is very useful topic for our day-to-day life. Before going to the concept, we have to see the source of time. The source of time is clock. As you can see, this is a clock and there are some features of clock which we need to understand before watching time. First one is clock face. Yes, the clock face represents some numbers and some hands. Yes, hands of clock. There are three hands of clock. First one is hour hand, second one is minute hand, and the third one is seconds hand. As I told you earlier that the clock is divided into 12 equal parts and there are 12 points representing 12 numbers in the clock, and the difference between two numbers is 5 minutes. Let's take an example like the number 1 and the number 2. There are some space in those numbers and that space is also divided into 5 equal parts, and the difference between the smaller part is 1 minute. That's why we can say the difference between each point like 1 and 2 is of 5 minutes. If a minute hand has to move from point 1 to point 2, then it will take a time of 5 minutes. And if an hour hand has to move from point 1 to point 2, then it will take 1 hour time. Therefore, a clock which contains two hands, first one is minute hand and second one is hour hand. That means hour hand rotates twice in a day. That means hour end shows 24 hours in a clock in a particular day. If we see the conversion method, then you can understand it more clearly. In 1 hour there are 60 minutes and in 1 minute there are 60 seconds, and in a complete day there are 24 hours, which a clock can show you time to time. Let's move further. There are two types of clocks. First one is 12-hour clock and the second one is 24-hour clock. Sometimes you have seen the time written as this. This means that if a clock rotates twice in a day, in a first clock, that is of 12-hour clock, it will rotate like 1 to 12, then after 1 to 12, and in 24 hours clock it will first rotate from 1 to 12, after that 1 is considered as 13 and 2 is 14 and so on till 24, and the time which is shown as this, it means 8 p.m. Likewise, if somewhere written as 1845, it means 6:45 p.m. and the numbers which represent from 1 to 12, it means that the time of am, and if the number representing 13 to 24, that time shows pm. If somewhere it's written as 15:30, that means 3:30. Now let's move to the concept of angles. As I told you in the previous lectures that minute hand takes 5 minutes of time from shifting from 1 to 2, and our hand takes 1 hour time shifting from 1 to point 2. Now we have to see the concept of angles. Minute hand makes 30-degree angle from shifting from point 1 to 2, and hour's hand makes 30-degree angle from point 1 to 2 in 1 hour, and there is 6-degree angle between 1 minute. Like I have shown you, there are 5 small points from point 1 to 2. That one point makes 6-degree angle in 1 minute. If both hands make 90-degree of angle, that means both hands lies 15 minutes away from each other.